A simple certificate, it will take months, or sometimes they don't even get access.
Somebody has come far off distance, he cannot repeatedly come. We say apply online, they can't do it. These days everything is online.
Yeah.
So I had to tell the commissioner that you must have a portal where physical payment is also allowed.
BP Acharya sir, retired Chief Secretary of Telangana. Sir's journey is inspiring given the kind of innovation he's brought into the bureaucracy. The common perception amongst the people is that the government is not responsive.
You are basically paid to serve the people you are working for. So that responsiveness, that empathy, which is largely missing in many officers. If you're able to help somebody, that is the satisfaction that it gives you and to the other person is immense. That's what the service is all about. Not about money, not about power. Can you climb up the Everest and ever get me a photograph? It's a priceless photograph. I thought about it and an idea came to me that we had just launched a new logo for the BP IAS. You take this banner along with the India flag and take a photograph and send us. I will give you 3 lakhs. After 3-4 months, he sent me a photo with the logo on top, and which we used extensively in our ad campaigns.
Yes.
All the new development that you're seeing around Hyderabad, it came up during that time.
Welcome to the Honest Hours.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So let's start where it all began, sir. So what was that specific incident that triggered you to take up public service?
I would say nothing specific in that sense, but civil service was an option which was given to me or like an ambition which was instilled into my mind by my grandfather, great-grandfather and the parents. All of them, of course, were engineers. Most of them were engineers. I belong to a family of engineers and science graduates. I was inspired to take up humanities as an optional, as a subject in school. Although I was among the top 10 in the high school, I was asked that if you want to crack the civil service exam, you must go for the arts subjects. Those days, humanities was the flavor of the
Yes, sir.
year.
Yes.
So my grandfather met the principal of the college and he said he must send in English and economics and the history, the humanities subjects. That's how it was. Those days, ICS was the kind of an epitome of power and authority and service, the highest post. My great-grandfather, who was a Rai Bahadur, he perceived it as an instrument of power.
So you hail from Odisha, is it?
I am from Bhubaneswar. I am from Odisha.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's how I was made to dream about IAS since my childhood, and almost as if no other career mattered. In fact, I remember many of my contemporaries were trying for the bank exam. Those days were not many options. The corporate sector had not opened up. So basically, for a government job, IAS was the prime position which one can aspire for. Others were trying for RBI, the banks, probationary officers. These were the few areas opened then. I never tried for other options, as if IAS was the only option for me. In fact, some of my friends found it little arrogant that you were not trying for any other exam and you were only putting all your eggs in one basket. But that's the way it was.
Like most of the people today, or erstwhile also, the common perception amongst the people is that the government is not responsive. And more importantly, the bureaucracy or the civil servants are the main culprits for this. So what do you think has to be done to, reverse this narrative, sir?
It's partly true that the kind of self-seeking culture which has got in, as long as you are safe, as long as you protect your own interests, you don't care how you serve. You are basically paid to serve the people you are working for. So that responsiveness, that empathy, which is largely missing in many officers, which is affecting the culture of the civil service. Earlier days, when somebody used to come and meet a collector, they used to come with an innate hope that he or she will find a solution to the problem that he is coming. For instance, when I was sub-collector Bhadrachalam, they used to say, sub-collector is like a Supreme Court for the tribal who comes to meet you. He won't go beyond you. So you have to dispense the justice to him. If you don't, the rich man can go anywhere. Rich man can go beyond the sub-collector, collector, chief secretary, chief minister. But the poorest man ends there. If you fail to deliver justice, that's where it ends. So it is this feeling of urgency that Somebody has come with a problem, I must try my best to solve it, and not a superficial way of dealing with it. That is what is marring the culture of civil service. People find the officers unresponsive. People find officers superficial, trying to look at your problem very cursorily. My own conviction is, if you really try to solve a problem, even the providence comes to help you. I've seen it many times in my career. The opportunity that the service offers to serve and help people is immense. You are literally the instrument of God.
Yes.
If you're able to help somebody, that is the satisfaction that it gives you, and to the other person is immense. That's what the service is all about. Not about money, not about power. It's about how effectively, how well you can serve the other people.
Yes, sir.
That
So
is
let me ask one question that every Indian wants to ask, sir. Like, why does it take so much of time? Any government work, it takes a lot of time. Let's say for a simple certificate, when a commoner goes to a government office, it will take months, or sometimes they don't even get access. So why does this happen, sir? Is this something systemic, or is it done on purpose? Intentionally, this is done?
It's partly both. Sometimes the systems that we evolve sitting in our air-conditioned offices don't take into account the problems of a common man. Somebody has come from a far-off distance. He cannot repeatedly come. We say apply online. He or she may not be tech-savvy. Unless you help him or her,
True.
They can't do it. These days, everything is online. So, for instance, my elderly mother, she's nearly 90 now. She had to pay the property tax. It has to be done online.
Okay.
So I had to tell the commissioner that you must have a portal where physical payment is also allowed.
True.
We evolve systems thinking it's transparent, but it ignores the disability, the difficulty of people who are not don't have that skill.
Yes, sir. And a straight jacket approach might not suit
It won't,
everybody.
But if you are aware of if you put yourself in the shoes of the other person, then that is where empathy matters.
Yes.
You imagine yourself as a petitioner.
Yes.
If you come for a certificate and you're made to run around, how will you feel? When you try to solve that problem, you can solve it. Where there is a way, there is a way.
Yes.
That's my conviction.
Yes.
The God will help you to find a way. If you're genuinely trying to help somebody, you will find a way. But we don't try hard enough. That's the problem. We just dismiss. We call it Prajavani. People come to meet you. You meet hundreds of people. The numbers are important. The targets are important. So many people came and met the character for Prajavani. But how many problems got solved? No one is perhaps monitoring. That's how it should be.
True.
The measure of success is how many people's problems you could solve.
But they say, some of the civil servants that I have interacted with, they say that there is systemic lacunae, and we do not want to take such risk. Whenever we take some initiative, there's a lot of backlash that we see from within the system, the seniors, as well as our colleagues. At the same time, in the long term, it is not being implemented. This is also one of the reasons that many civil servants tell, sir.
Yes and no. Again, within the framework of what is available, if there is a genuine will to serve within that, there are constraints within the system. The systems are not very user-friendly. Systems are not people-friendly. Systems, again, are made by us.
Yes.
So if you make it responsive and you make it user-friendly, then you can yourself find solutions easily. But the officers who take the shelter behind the procedures, saying that procedures don't allow, I call them wooden-headed bureaucrats. There is wooden-headed bureaucracy, which partly for their selfish interests.
Quite interesting, sir.
So
wooden-headed bureaucrats.
I mentioned about it in my TED talk.
Yes,
which
sir.
you can display that is one of the traits which marks the bureaucracy today. You apply a rule without looking at the purpose, the letter and spirit of the rule. Rules are made for human beings, not the other way around.
Yes, sir.
When you interpret a rule, try and use it in favor of helping a person, not the other way around. If the request is genuine, if the request is not genuine, you need not tweak the rule.
So, like any specific instance where you had applied empathy rather than just going by the rule book, and it had a very far-reaching impact as part of your career?
I can tell you a couple of stories or anecdotes, if you may.
Please, sir.
Yeah. There is a interesting story of a mountaineer who came and met me. I was MD, the AP Industrial Infrastructure Corporation.
Yes, sir.
His name is Shekhar Babu.
Yeah, a lorry driver's son, maybe.
No. He was an employee of the tourism department.
Okay.
Lean looking man, and he said, I have climbed all mountains, but I have not been able to climb Everest. It's my dream and passion to climb Everest. I said, I felt like asking him, why are you here? What can I do? I am an infrastructure corporation. You go and ask your MD, your tourism employee. But somehow something stopped me. There was a fire in his eyes. There was a passion I could see in him. He said, I'll be the first person from South India to climb Everest.
Okay.
Then I asked, how much do you need? He said, about 3 lakhs, sir, is what will suffice. I have mobilized all other funds. If you sponsor it, I'll be able to climb it. I thought about it. I could have easiest way of telling is no, I can't help it. But I thought about it, and an idea came to me that we had just launched a new logo for the APIAC, which resembled a mountain. So the future is here is the tagline.
That's quite pragmatic thinking, sir.
So then I said, okay, you take this new logo. I gave a printout of the logo on a cloth. You take this banner along with the India flag and take a photograph and send us.
Okay.
I will give you 3 lakhs. For that, in advance, I'll give you. You do this thing, but send me a photograph on Everest. Literally on top of the world, this logo.
Yes.
My accounts manager was grumbling and literally saying, how does it help us? I said, you will see how it will help us. I asked him, can you climb up the Everest and ever get me a photograph? It's a priceless photograph.
True that.
None of us can.
Absolutely true.
So, lo and behold, after 3-4 months, he sent me a photo with the logo on top, and which we used extensively in our ad campaigns.
Yes,
scaling new heights, touching new goals.
Yes.
That was
in fact, after that, they have there's a lot of
the
returns.
Company, luckily, at that point in time,
APIAC got a lot of returns
from about 65 crores. It grew to 5,000 crores in a matter of 5 years, which is remarkable. All the new development that you're seeing around Hyderabad, it came up during that time. The financial district, the Genome Valley, the knowledge city, the mind space, all that around Hyderabad, which is the driver of growth today, happened because of that. Coming back to the gentleman Suresh Babu, he didn't stop there. He climbed the mountain, and we used this logo photo.
Later, he was also training people.
Then he started his mountaineering school in Bongir. He has trained thousands of people now, including Malavat Purna, who was the youngest girl to climb mountain. There is an interesting episode which I have told in my TED talk about this. You can show the link later on. That's how it influenced an act of empathy.
Absolutely.
Not only helped one person, it has helped thousands of people who have been trained by him.
True.
Including the poor tribal girl Purna, who is now a transformed character. She is now going around all over India and inspirational speaker also.
Inspiration for many of the youngsters.
Yes.
And also brought laurels
a film
to
was
the
made on her.
A Bollywood movie was made.
They came and met me also at that point in time.
Okay.
So that is the way an act of empathy can translate into the easier way, safer way would have been to say no. In my conviction is saying no is very easy. It stops there.
True.
Saying yes, you have to make it happen.
You have to make it happen. You have to take action.
Make it happen to ensure that people don't ask questions on it. You have responsibilities on you.
Absolutely.
How saying yes and saying yes without breaking too many rules. You may tweak a few here and there, but for a good intention.
Yes.
That's what empathy means in civil service.
Yes.
That's what makes a good civil servant in my view. Others may feel differently.
Having said that, sir, that is a very welcoming move. But practically, many of the officers, especially the young recruits of late, there have been complaints, or at least in the internal grievance redressal, what they have conveyed is, in spite of getting into the service, there are some silos within the system, the caste-based silos, or the class-based silos. So how do you look at it, sir? Like, After getting into this, starting from the training at Labasna, there itself there is some groupism that goes on.
It is in a way inevitable. The silos are there, but the mark of the success will be how you succeed in breaking these silos and network with everyone. You want to remain in a silo where your caste, your group, your area is important, your tribe. Then you will be marked as you are supposed to be a people's collector, a people's officer. You will be only that community's collector, which is finally it will be seen through. You are answerable to the people at large. You are answerable to your own conscience and to people at large. You can't fool them. I have seen many officers who cook up figures and get prizes, Uttam Seva medal and all that. But on field, they have not done anything. People will snigger at it behind your back. They all see through this.
True. So where do you see the lacunae, sir? Is it systemic or is it an individual level these problems are propping up?
It is both. It is your own character as an officer. If you have it within you that I must be true to my own self, true to my conscience, and system which can be gamed by showing results which are not real. The system should have a robust mechanism of finding out who is telling the lie, who is telling the truth. The evidence-based performance is what is important. Judging by evidence, the PM's awards, excellence awards which are given, there should be 360-degree verification.
More rational and robust approach.
In fact, there should be 360-degree. Now they are encouraging 360-degree evaluation also for the officers.
True.
Not only your boss,
Yes.
the subordinate must say that you are a good boss.
Yes.
You cannot be a cruel and unkind boss to everyone else. That is where empathy again matters. Yes. You can do chamchagiri throughout your life.
True.
And get good CRs. But the departments will say he is a very, very bad boss.
Yes.
You can't be a team leader for that. Eventually, apart from empathy, leadership is what matters.
Absolutely.
In service like ours.
That brings in transformation. Right?
Absolutely. Because this is a group, the civil servants, the IAS, IPS, IRS, the All India Services, about 5,000 to 6,000 in all, which lead an army of 3 to 4 crore government employees at different levels. To provide leadership to them is not easy. Maybe no other country has this kind of a challenge.
No business school can teach you.
So that is where the true leadership and how to inspire your team matters. You can't just flatter your boss and get good CRs, and all your team curses you. You can't achieve results. It is true even in a corporate world. Empathy matters not only in governance. Basically, it is my theme at that time was heart in governance. The empathy in governance in general. That's what matters.
Yes, sir. Coming to one of the important observations that you made, women officers are more empathetic and more impactful is what you have said, sir. What is the reason behind this observation, sir? Could you just elaborate it further for us?
Women by nature are made that way by nature, that they have to have empathy for the needs of the family. So it's not
sensibility.
Yeah, they are more tolerant. They have more levels of. Nature has made them stronger emotionally, perhaps, to tolerate the trauma of a childbirth, of handling so many issues in the family. So they are naturally wired. I have seen many women officers. Of course, there are many women officers who are very strict also. They consider the other trap of women officers who feel that they must prove themselves as very strict and as tough as any man. So then that makes them takes to the other extreme. So that is also there. There are many officers who are very, very tough and considered not empathetic enough. So it is not you can't generalize that all women officers are empathetic, but mostly they are. I have seen that women in the civil service have made a difference, because 50% of the population is women. To understand the issues of the women, which they are the most disadvantaged lot in the society.
True that.
To ensure their upliftment, it is good that more women are coming to service.
Yes, sir. So also of late we have seen many young officers who are, because of various pressures, they're succumbing to the pressure, and sometimes we have seen the instances of suicides or some young officers resigning the service at a very early stage of their career. That examination which they put their heart and soul into preparing for it and then clearing it, and after getting into the service they're disgruntled with the system and they're resigning. And very recently we've seen the instance of Mr. Puran Kumar, who has committed a suicide. So how do you look at these kind of instances?
It's very unfortunate development. The kind of stress service is actually stressful. By its nature of work, the kind of tensions you go through are stressful. That is where shock absorbers are required. That's where what I meant by seniors to act as mentors. If you are in doubt, you ask some senior, they will console you. That kind of a counseling which is required, which is missing now. It is now you left to yourself.
Right.
And the work-life balance which matters, the family and the family support system. If you had a bad day in office or some politician has made you, shouted at you, how you get over it. So many officers are internalizing that pressure and tension, which is leading to suicides. So there are also hounding of officers by foisting false cases, which is another trend.
Yes.
I myself gone through this.
True.
Even at the most of the honest decisions with best of the intentions.
Yes.
For you get caught in the political crossfire.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate. Then you have to struggle to get out of it.
Yes.
So I personally seen the stress that one has to go through.
Yeah, but you have shown utmost grit and determination and resilience.
Because I knew that I was correct. My conscience was clear that I have done nothing wrong.
Yes.
I knew that what I have done is for the betterment of the state.
Yes.
Projects which I have helped are for the good of the state. The results are being seen now.
Absolutely.
So those who question it, they did it with some ulterior political motive.
Yes.
I was not the target. Somebody else was the target.
Yes.
I came in between.
True.
So I was caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, you were just a casualty.
So collateral
damage.
victim.
Yes.
So you should have the courage of conviction of standing up to it. As long as you know that you are correct, the God will. I had to take it as some kind of a prarabdha that you have to go through.
Yes.
You as if some sin was done in the past life, which you have to go through the suffering now. Good people often suffer.
True.
If it is in Kali Yuga, the bad people get away with murder. Good people suffer most.
Yes.
Even the God who takes avatara has to go through 14 years of vanavas.
Yes.
Lord Rama had to go 14 years of vanavas.
Yes.
So that is the example of good people suffering. It's an example of you should have the courage to fight it out and stand up for what you do.
But very few people have that resilience, right, sir? They will succumb to the pressure. For them, what are the suggestions that you would give to tackle a crisis situation?
There'll be many points of crisis in your service. So good to have your
personal front also that could be there.
Personal and professional. Well. Yes. There could be challenges. You should have once your head and heart are at the right places, you should be able to get out of it. You cannot bank on others. When it comes to the crunch, you are there. You fight it alone. You fight all alone. Yes. Others forsake you. That's you have to fight your own battle. Yes. But if you have the courage of conviction, you will overcome.
Yeah.
When you know that you are on the right side, the Satyameva Jayate is the ultimate test of. If you are correct, it will triumph. People have seen through all these false allegations. They will say this was all foisted politically.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your reputation, professional, the reputation and the integrity, it won't get affected.
True, sir. So, your comeback story is quite inspirational for many people. I just wanted to understand. So, when you were in this midst of this crisis, did your colleagues or your friends support you in that moment, or there was like a approach?
It was people are afraid. The kind of the atmosphere that was in, people are afraid. It was my wife had to fight it alone. The family and the wife suffered the trauma the most.
Yes.
They had to fight it out. So it affected the family more than me.
Yes.
So it's a very unfortunate way. I won't blame the colleagues and friends because everyone was afraid. There was an
Yes.
atmosphere of fear.
True.
If
Which
we
was
support, we
created.
will also be hounded.
Yes. Yes.
So that was the kind of atmosphere which was, in a way, this has affected in the long run the decision-making ability of the service.
True.
If you are afraid to commit mistakes, you cannot do anything. It has affected the approach of the civil service in the long run.
Yes.
What has happened in the past, this kind of hounding, witch hunting has. There is an interesting story by Mr. Anil Swarup, who has told about the 3 C's which have affected, or Mr. P.C. Parekh's book of which he calls the From Crusader to Conspirator. He was one of the most upright officers who was coal secretary. He was hounded out for no fault of his. Or Mr. H.C. Gupta, who was one of the most honest officers in the service, but he was hounded out like that. So it is where the system should have enough shock absorbers to protect such honest people.
Yes, sir.
Which is not good enough. The political bosses also pay lip service to it, but they don't really come out to protect. The judiciary, the political masters, they don't rise to the occasion to protect honesty where it matters.
Sure.
Which is
You're
problem.
left to fend for yourself.
Which is a problem. So if you want the system to deliver with fearlessness, you have to serve without fear or favor. Then you need to have that protection. There are protections, but they are not effective enough. So we need to have more robust systems of protection for honest people, which are lacking.
True, sir. So
but again, to be fair, in a system today, to find honest people is very difficult. There are, for maybe 5 people, there are 70, 80 people who are not honest enough. The number of honest people in service is dwindling. There are many, the reputation of the service has got affected. That is where people don't really pay much attention, where honest people are hounded out. They think that yes, he or she must be like that. Everyone is tarred by the same brush. Tarred in the same brush.
Yes, sir.
That is where system needs to have enough checks and balances to weed out dishonest people and to protect real honest people.
True, sir.
They made some amendments to the PC Act, but it is not with prospective effect. It's only with prospective effect. It doesn't have the retrospective effect. So it doesn't help many officers or the cases which were filed in the past.
So for many IAS officers, the district collectorship role is one of the most satisfying period. So could you tell us some specific examples of the work that you have done and the impact, and how you are more content regarding that?
Well, that is true that as a collector, the opportunity that you have to help people is immense, and the variety of roles you play is also multiple. More than the district collector, I had the opportunity of working as the district development officer for 3 years in Warangal, same district, before I took over as collector.
So I would rate DDO is before collectorship is what they do, sir?
That's right.
Okay.
Before becoming collector, from 1987 to 90, I was DDO Warangal of Jilla Parishad. Then 90 to 93, I was collector Warangal. 6 years in a row, I was in same district. I would rate my stint as DDO, which many IAS officers are reluctant to serve, thinking that you have to work with politicians and is not a very desirable post. I found that the most satisfying in my career so far, because Jilla Parishad those days was very, very powerful. Powerful in the sense that there are a lot of activities which were taken up by Jilla Parishad. The minor irrigation, the schools, the other roads, panchayat roads. It had immense potential of working with the people. I literally visited many villages, most of the villages and most of the sarpanchas I used to know by their name. That helped me immensely when I took over as collector. There was an innate trust which was built up that this collector will do. Even if I do make a mistake, they will say, no, he won't have, he will never think which is mistake. That's how I was in a different government. I was the DDO, but I continued in another government. the politician said, no, we want him to continue as collector. I was with TDP government. It was replaced by Congress, but I continued there. That was most satisfying. And the kind of development that we built, it was very troubled time. The PWG extremism, left-wing extremism was at the height.
Okay.
Those every day some incident was happening in Warangal,
Yes.
including the kidnap of my joint collector.
Mhm.
Attempts to kidnap me also were there. Attempts to put me on the hit list.
Okay.
Later on, after I left Warangal, they said you need to have gunmen in have security in Hyderabad, which I politely refused. So say because I was figuring in their list. So every day an incident was used to happen, but with a lot of guts we faced those situations and still carried on with development like the literacy program. One of the biggest things which I could achieve is kind of a cultural revival. We started the Kakatiya festival. The innate urge of the public there, people there. It's a very culturally active place.
Okay.
Warangal, as the capital city of the Kakatiyas. A lot of pride about the Kakatiyas in Warangal. Their legacy, which was a legacy of welfareism, which abides even now. Lot of admiration. So I could try little bit to revive that legacy and try to instill that pride in the public again at a time where every day some violent incident was to take place. That was the most satisfying time which I had.
So administratively, how did you tackle this issue of Naxalism?
In a way, I realized that the underdevelopment in in Warangal, I could see that they have very little ideological mooring left in them. They have more or less become like a mafia. I used to call it war on people, not people's war. So we ran a campaign to wean away Naxalites. Now, what you are seeing now in the government of India, we used to have the top leaders who surrendered, and we had a very successful rehabilitation program, which in fact irritated, irked most of the top brass of the extremism, and that's why I was put on the hit list. There were people like Shivaji and the Politburo members were there, top leaders who I used to call them our Dalam. So they are the surrendered extremists of Dalam. We took up their rehabilitation in right earnest way, gave them some means of survival, house sites, built houses for them. So that's how in public we try to expose their lack of ideological the mooring. They basically became a mafia for collecting money from the contractors in the name of fighting for the people. They were actually making money, looting. It became like a mafia. So that is what I tried to expose in the public. To some extent, it worked.
But didn't your family fear, sir? Like you were in the hit list and there could be some attacks on you personally.
Once you get used to it, I used to, in such incidents used to take place, I used to go to the Bhadrakali temple and pray. I said the Amma is there to protect us.
True.
So that's how I.
So you had the courage of conviction. Yes.
And they were also afraid. They won't touch a popular collector.
Yes.
Collector who is doing people's work. If they touch, they will get a bad name.
True.
So that's how.
Makes sense. Yes.
Your ultimately people are your Raksha Kavacham. Rama Raksha is the people.
True.
If people, you are popular, you are doing good work for the public, that is your protection. They dare not touch you.
True. That.
I think that helped me.
Yes.
So having come away to Hyderabad, I was reluctant to carry on the baggage that I will be marked forever if I carry with a gunman and all that all the time. A, they will snoop on you. B, you'll be marked forever. So that's why I avoid it.
Quite interesting, sir. So like one of the question that every common Indian has is like, how much does an IAS officer earn? What are the perks and benefits that they get?
In terms of money, it is not much. There are many in the civil service exam who quit very cushy corporate jobs. They get about 4-5 lakhs a month in a corporate job, but you come back here and get less than a lakh of rupees. To begin with, you get about 60-70. In our days, it was much less.
Okay.
Ours in Mussoorie, we used to get about some 1200 rupees to begin with. So in 83. So it is paltry. Of course, there are perks, lot of perks. You get a good bungalow, you get the car and the other facilities. But unless you misuse them, IS, the civil service is not for money. There are many more avenues which will afford you. I used to crack a joke in Warangal that the Panbala sitting outside the collector's office will be earning much more than the collector. Yet people come to the collector because they know that here is a person who can help you.
Yes.
So that is the reality. There are many more businesses which we can make quick buck, fast buck. Yes. Those looking for money should not come to the service. Those looking to serve should come to the service. That is my advice to the people who are taking the service. In the interviews, when you ask the candidates, why are you choosing civil service? All of them say, I want to serve the country, I want to serve the people, which partly is true, but they are basically rhetorics. They should have the right this thing that it will also help me to a challenging career, to see that you get kind of the complex roles, the multiple roles which IAS offers you the opportunity to work in several roles, which no other service in the world perhaps can offer you. That diversity of role in government, which adds to your understanding of the system.
Okay.
Of course, please. The problem is that many don't try to really get into it and act superficial. The arrogance of the IAS is also phenomenal now. That is the problem with the IAS now. So they stop learning, they stop respecting the specialists. You ought to respect the knowledge which others have and pick up from them and try to take a decision, which should be owned by everyone. If you try to thrust your opinion, your decision without understanding their point of view, it will backfire.
Yes. So, why do people think that IAS officers are super rich?
I don't think they are super rich, unless they misuse their position to make money illegally.
Okay.
Which is perhaps the case in many cases now. Such cases are coming up more often. Those days, it was very unheard of that a collector will be corrupt. These days, there are cases reported right from sub-collectors where people are caught taking bribes, which is very, very unfortunate. That integrity, apart from empathy, integrity is the other basic value which an officer should have, a civil servant should have. Without that, no point coming to this service.
Sir, in your honest opinion, can an IAS officer's family live comfortably in today's inflation levels with the salary and perks that they get?
For your needs, it's enough. The service provides you enough. When you retire as chief secretary, you get about 2,25,000. In corporate sector, it will be 1/10 of what a lower level the functionary will get. Highest officer in the government, the apex grade, you would get 2.25 lakhs, which is like a starting salary in many companies these days. So, but unless you want to become filthy rich, it is good enough for even with the inflation now. It is good enough if you don't have very profligate habits. It is enough to look after your needs.
So that is some clarity that a manager in IT sector might get much more than
definitely.
A collector.
There's no doubt. I have seen many officers, young officers who have quit their cushy jobs. I asked, why are you doing that? They said that there we found there is no professional satisfaction. We are working all our life to add to somebody else's profit. I don't feel that I am trying to help my own people. I am trying to contribute to the development of my area. That satisfaction I don't get in a company.
True.
I am like a coolie for working for somebody else. But in the IAS, you are genuinely trying. You may not get that much, but you genuinely get more satisfaction. So if you value satisfaction, your professional satisfaction more, come to the service. If you value money more, don't come to the service. That's my advice to the young aspirants.
Sir, you worked with many ministers, MPs, MLAs, and also grassroots level leaders. So how should the relationship between a civil servant and politician be? And what are the dichotomies that are seen at the practical level?
In a democratic system, sooner an officer understands that there is a Lakshman Rekha which is to be there between the political executive and the bureaucracy. The role clarity about who does what is important. So if my own personal experience is that 9 out of 10 cases, if you explain that somebody wants you to do something wrong, you explain to him or her that this is how it cannot be done. They will ask you once, twice, then they'll back off. Very few cases will they will pester on. In my career in Warangal, apart from one or two politicians, I didn't have any problem with anyone. I had 5-6 ministers at one point in time. But I had no difficulty because I was grounded. In fact, that is where I find that the politicians who have come from the school of politics, like the panchayat samitis were there, the gram panchayats were there, those who come from the PR system, they are better. They understand the functioning of the government better. Those who are planted as MLAs, ministers directly, they lack that understanding. So there were many seasoned politicians who had come they gone through the school of politics, in the sense that they were sarpanch, they were samiti president, they were mandal president, then they become MLA. They see the government functioning. That makes a difference.
Yes.
That's where Panchayat Raj system played an important role. I'm a firm believer in decentralization in Panchayat Raj, which unfortunately has not sustained in India, in spite of all the tall talk. We keep on telling periodically, we give statutory guarantee in the constitution, but powers are not transferred, money is not transferred. They call it 3 Fs: funds, functions, functionaries. These 3 Fs are not given to the Panchayat Raj bodies.
Right.
Abroad, you see where a mayor of a city wields much more power than the governor, perhaps. Mayor of New York
True.
is so powerful that he contests for a presidential election next time.
Yes.
So not so in Hyderabad, or not so in any other major city.
Right.
They deliberately kept on the shadow of the local minister or the MLA. That has been the bane. I used to say that you can't have a very strong hand and weak fingers. Panchayat Raj, the local body, is like a finger. If the finger is weak, however big muscles you have on the arm, finger can't pick up even a glass of water. That's what is the problem in India. The roads may continue to be bad because they don't. The local bodies don't have powers, don't have money. We need to correct that imbalance. Devolution of powers to the Panchayat Raj and the local bodies. When this new government was, the new state was formed, in fact, I had suggested to the then Chief Minister that post young officers to Zilla Parishads again, because going by my own example, make them CEOs of the Zilla Parishads, give them, there were some posts created as additional characters, but it also didn't, it was halfway house.
Sir, do politicians really control IAS officers?
I would say yes and no. Yes, because finally the postings are decided by the Chief Minister.
Okay.
And sometimes influenced by the local MLAs. A collector today is now there. When I was a collector, there were some 20 MLAs and 3-4 MPs. Now there are only 1 or 2 MLAs per district. So you are now serving under one particular MLA.
Yes.
So to some extent, it is true that if your local MLA and the ministers are not happy, you may get shifted.
Okay.
To that extent, they control your tenure, but they cannot dictate what you do during that tenure. How long you will stay. It is not the length of your tenure which is important. It is what you did during that tenure is important. Have you left a stamp? Have you left a mark in that tenure? Which have you been able to create something lasting, sustaining in the district or the sub-collector's division? That is more important.
So you worked with many chief ministers. Who was the most comfortable chief minister to work with, sir?
Other chief ministers, I did not have chance to work closely. I had about 5-6 chief ministers during my 40 years of 4 decades of service. When we joined the service, it was N.T. Ramarao who was the chief minister, who was very distant, and for us, he was like a star. We didn't have opportunity. Then we had the Janardhan Reddy and Vijay Bhaskar Reddy. I had opportunity to work closely with Chandrababu Naidu and YSR, and to some extent KCR. So all three had good qualities of leadership, of responsive this thing. Of the lot, I would rate YSR as the most humane of the leaders, with tremendous leadership quality.
Yes.
And feeling for the empathy for the poor, of serving the poor in genuine terms. Chandrababu Naidu had the perseverance and the vision to think hard work, and I was his commissioner information. So the way he used to approach a thing and try and get it, it was under his guidance we could start the Genome Valley, where I was fortunate to be involved. Today, I am also fortunate to be involved for nearly two decades in that project. Today, it is the only viable life science cluster in India, and perhaps one of the best in the world. It is the vaccine capital of the world. 1/3 of the global vaccines get manufactured there. So all that could happen because the vision of IT and BT, I was very junior, but he posted me as Secretary Industries, replacing an officer who was 10 years my senior. He said, you are doing good work in dairy sector. You come and do this for me. So that was a passion which I developed. I never studied science in my career, but yet I had opportunity to work with top scientists and understand what an ecosystem requires. It's important to understand the ecosystem.
True.
YSR, on the other hand, gave a very free hand. He used to tell this, what let us do the best. For instance, we were trying for the nano car project. When the Tatas announced,
yes,
the team came and we took them around. When they visited, I saw them chatting constantly on phone with the Gujarat Chief Minister, then Mr. Present Prime Minister was the Chief Minister. So
Modi ji was the Chief CM of Gujarat.
I thought that they made up their mind. I reported that to the Chief Minister. And no wonder they said, no, we are not able to come to your state, we will go to Gujarat. So the Chief Minister then wrote a letter to Mr. Ratan Tata that we are disappointed that you are not coming to our state for the nano project. Ratan Tata, being what he is, his personality of being genuine business ethics, he wrote back saying that, don't worry, I'll give you something bigger. And true to his word, after 15-20 days, we had the project of the Tatas for helicopter manufacturing, Sikorsky helicopter. That's how the aerospace hub started in Hyderabad in Adibhatla. Today, all the top brands are there.
Yes.
Lockheed Martin, Airbus, Boeing. It is one of the three major global aerospace hubs in the world. One in Nagawa in Japan, Connecticut in USA, and Adibhatla in Hyderabad. In fact, Ratan Tata was so impressed by the ORR that was built at that time. He was a pilot himself, and he saw this thing and said, it's so impressive, I can land my plane here on this ORR. That's how he came. And the team came to me just after the incident of Singur, where they had a lot of issues and Tatas had big problems.
There were protests over there.
The projects. They were thrown out badly. So they said, we will get this project to you, provided you give this land without any hassles at all. Get it enclosed. Those were the election time. So I told the local Tehsildar and said that, can we do it? The code was about to be enforced and we had land, but to see that all the litigation is cleared, fencing it. Literally, I took it up as a challenge. In fact, the gentleman who came and met me, he told a small कहावत in Hindi, दूध का जला हुआ छाछ को भी फूंक के पीता है. In fact, I offered him buttermilk at that time. It was the summer months of. So he, true to their word, within 1 year they built that S-92 cabin, which is large-bodied helicopter. One thing led to another, and they got the Airbus, Boeing, all there. It is a growing aerospace cluster.
True.
At that time, there was an attempt by the then Civil Aviation Minister, who was from Nagpur, to get that hub there. But we stole a march and declared this as the first SEZ in India,
Mm-hmm.
Aerospace SEZ.
Yes.
So that was another very satisfying
Yes.
story where working with YSR
Yes.
provided me. He gave ample freedom to
Yes.
deserve, and at the end of it, he will always pat you on the back,
Okay.
which will spur you on.
Hmm. How is he in closed door meetings, sir?
How was he?
In closed door meetings.
There was no duplicity in his personality.
Hmm.
In closed door, open door, he was the same person.
Acha.
He had the guts of taking decisions. He will write in bold capital letters, approved.
Hmm.
Later on with KCR also, initially I had a lot of interaction. I
Okay.
found his the vision to help the state immense. But after that, he became inaccessible.
Hmm.
And the officers were not able to meet him.
True.
That's where I lost touch.
Hmm.
I was his planning secretary.
Hmm.
That is where I proposed that we should have young officers posted as
Hmm.
Zilla Parishad CEOs.
Hmm.
And we did a lot of work for the Mission Kakatiya. And those days I was monitor those developments.
Sir, if there are 3 important attributes of leadership that you've noticed in Dr. YSR, what are they, sir? These could be learnings for the younger generations also.
Empathy, humaneness. His dealings with the human beings, with the fellow beings, was unique, which very few politicians, and his warmth as a person, which very other of politicians lack, which was genuine. His warmth was genuine. It was not duplicate. You can see that.
True that.
Very few leaders have that attribute. In fact, when he passed away, hundreds of people felt as a personal loss to themselves. That came out widely.
Yes.
I was, in fact, on the last day, I was waiting for a project for him to be inaugurated in Nellore district.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting, then we got the news that he has passed away. We were devastated.
Sir, like which type of politician is most dangerous for the system?
A politician who is self-seeking, many politicians are self-seeking, many officers are self-seeking, but yet poses as something else. You must see the wolf in sheep's clothing, and unless you are able to see through without any moral compass in himself or herself, the most dangerous. Somebody, come what may, I will only improve my own personal interest without bothering for what people think, how it would affect, is the worst in my view. Same with an officer. I won't say that this type of tribe of people is there in politicians and bureaucracy also. So we must guard against such people hijacking the system. It will be dangerous for the people if such people are allowed to continue in power, whether in bureaucracy or in politics.
Sir, in your family, both the partners are civil servants, you and ma'am. So how do you strike a balance between work and family life, sir?
It's difficult, but it provides an opportunity to understand each other's challenges. It affects the family life to a large extent. That's why we have one son who was lonely most of the time. So that's a problem. It's important to see that one tries to carve out the right balance. Support system of the family also matters. The grandparents, parents who are there at that point in time, they try to ease the situation. We being both of us in a different state, that was also an issue. Not too many relatives around here. So it was a challenge in fact, to get posted together was a challenge itself in the civil service. Many politicians use that as an opportunity, as a tool to harass you, separate you in terms of posting. We faced that early in our career. I was posted to Kandukur in Prakasham district, and she was posted to Bongir in Nalgonda. I didn't join. It was the hundreds of miles apart, kilometers apart. So luckily they relented. They posted me to Miryalguda in Nalgonda, same district. So they use it as a tool for a couple to punish you. My wife is also from the same batch. So it does create tensions, the stress in the family that both of us are going through, our respective tensions in the job, come back home and give out tensions on each other. That's an issue sometimes. You need to have that equanimity and poise to get over it.
Who's the real boss at home, sir?
I don't know. There are many things where she decides many things, and It's
So
a
that mutual understanding
it's
was
a work
always
in
there.
progress. One can't say that who the boss. On different issues, different people are the boss.
So anytime you had a power struggle for the postings.
Not between her. She was very keen that she didn't want to angle for any posting. Not that I angle for posting. She didn't take any post as unimportant, and whatever post is given to her, she has worked to the best of her ability. Same with us. So this so-called rat race for good plum postings was never with us. Particularly with her, she never hankered for so-called good postings.
Sir, any advice for young couples who are having dual career roles?
You need to have this understanding. Being in the same service, you ought to know the pressures that each one goes through. Many times it causes tensions and ego clashes, which has led to separations in marriage. Many couples have fallen apart because of this. So it's difficult to be a couple in the service. You need to have understanding and empathy to understand why the person is behaving today. If somebody has a bad day in office, give that space to the other person. That's what is important.
Sir, how is post-retirement life, sir? So all through the career as an IAS officer, there must have been hectic parlays, and you were hustling all through your career, and all of a sudden, after retirement, there's not much of an activity. So what do you actually pursue as hobbies, and how do you, spend your time, sir?
It wasn't very tough for me because 4 years before my retirement, I was the DG MCR HRD, which
Hmm.
provided a kind of a flexible lifestyle, which was not very hectic.
Okay.
I used to decide when to go, what to do, when to have not too many meetings. Basically, the training, which is very satisfying for me, building the new civilian army of India, as used to call them. So the uh, I pursued my hobbies, particularly after that. Cartooning is an hobby which I've pursued since my
You've written
childhood.
an amazing book called, you
Obtuse
cartoon
angle.
authored an amazing book
Yeah,
called Obtuse Angles.
that's right.
Yeah, like it's a very interesting way of looking at civil services and then reflecting it with cartoons.
The
So, what was the
subtitle of
idea behind this, sir?
the subtitle of the book says a bureaucrat's journey
Hmm.
through cartoons.
Hmm.
Obtuse angle in the preface I've told.
There's a
We
level of
as
satirical elements also in that.
Yeah. We as civil servant, we are used to looking everything with an acute angle, critically.
Hmm.
Every order of the government, there's a
Hmm.
paragraph at the end.
Hmm.
After careful examination of all issues, government hereby decides this.
Huh.
Here you have to see all angles of the story,
True.
the including obtuse angle. Obtuse angle means that for every situation there is perhaps a funny and lighter side, which
Hmm.
you should have. If you should have a sense of humor to look
Hmm.
at.
Hmm.
Being a civil servant, there are restrictions of what
Yes.
cartoons you can do, what you can't.
True.
So I used to do cartoons on bureaucracy, laughing at oneself.
Hmm.
You can't do direct political cartoons. So after retirement, I did couple of advisory roles. I
Hmm.
was with the Genome Valley, with ICMR. They were doing a animal resource project. I was with them for 2.5 years. I was advisor for industrial cluster development for Punjab government for some time. I worked with the industrial development, the IRDA regulatory authority. Couple of advisory roles, but I kept it ensured that it is light enough not to again make the life hectic.
Hmm.
Before I retired, the COVID also provided that space that you
True.
don't have to working virtually was
Hmm.
also like that. So in a way, I was prepared for retirement,
Yes.
and I wanted to pursue my hobby of cartooning more effectively. So
Hmm.
I started contributing regular columns to newspapers, which was
Oh,
recognized, and I was given the best cartoonist award
that's amazing, sir.
in 2020.
Hmm.
I was not keen. I was not thinking of getting it printed as a book, but
Hmm.
somehow the idea came and it got published. So now in fact, same book, the third edition has come out
Okay.
recently, revised edition.
Has
So
it?
it has been a big hit. I would recommend that each of the aspirants see this
Yes,
because
yes, even I've gone through that book, sir. It's an amazing parody, and it's a very interesting way of looking at things, the administrative setup, and various experiences, real time experiences, I, because you had the practical experience of working the bureaucracy, and that being reflected in a cartoon format makes it engaging, interesting, as well as people to know what exactly how the system functions.
In a
So
way, this creativity is very important for the civil
true.
service.
Hmm.
Unless you're creative enough to find out innovative solutions to issues,
Yes.
you get stuck in the rut. You need to have that spark in you to think of creative problem solving,
Yes. Yes.
which is a very important attribute of leadership.
Hmm. It can also act as a vent for the kind of work
Absolutely,
pressure
to
that they
keep
have.
you alive as a human being.
Hmm.
Otherwise, there's so much of we stop reading as civil servant.
Hmm.
If you don't pursue a hobby, you stop growing as a human being.
True.
You become a robot.
Hmm.
So to continue to be human, you need to pursue the hobby. I actively encourage the trainees in the during service to do whatever, dancing, singing, painting. We had classes by
Yes.
sending them to theatre, sending them to rock climbing, all kinds of extracurricular activities was very important
Hmm.
during the training.
That develops the personality in a
Overall
holistic
development of
manner.
personality and well-rounded personality is what, in fact, that is very important for aspiring civil servants.
True.
We don't need one-track people. We need people who are rounded, well-rounded in their personality, who can fit into all kinds of situations.
Yes. So, you set up, you were instrumental in setting up several industrial clusters like Genome Valley, the financial district area, which has developed. So, during this phase, there are a lot of challenges also, institutionally as well as with the people per se, whether it is land acquisition, getting the approvals, etc. So, what is the blueprint to get it done in a smooth manner? Secondly, in Hyderabad, this phenomena could be developed. So, what distinguishes between Hyderabad as a city compared to other cities?
I won't say I have been able to do these clusters. I was lucky to be at the right place at the right time.
Hmm.
I was fortunate that God gave me a chance to do this. So, the key is to understand the ecosystem. It is not some building some structures and say that it will develop on its own.
Yes.
Like Genome Valley, very carefully, it is like a jigsaw puzzle. Each bit of the puzzle has to be fitted in to that. And to do that, you need to understand each stakeholder's perspective. The scientist, the academician, we could create an ecosystem with the advice of the academics, with the industry together. It is a partnership which works. Unless I understand your necessity, I can't build an ecosystem which is suitable to you. In your own house, you want where the bed has to be there, where the sofa set has to be there, where the bathroom has to be there. You know better. We cannot prescribe you the way your bed must be there and your sofa set should be there. It won't work. I need to consult the stakeholders and carefully plan the ecosystem. For instance, the Genome Valley, we realized that it lacks a fire station. The many multinationals used to insist that there has to be disaster management system. So we got a fire station sanctioned. So each small element is important.
Right.
The housing for the people who work, schools for the kids. I sanctioned a hospital in the IT cluster. At that time, I was questioned, why are you doing a hospital in the IT cluster? It is a hospital in financial district. I asked the counter question, is there a boon the God has given that the IT professionals won't fall ill? What if somebody here has a sudden emergency? Where would he or she be? There are 5-6 lakh people working here. If they fall sick, where will they go?
True.
Why should you not have a hospital in the vicinity? That's why since beginning we had a common policy of 60-40, 70-30 ratio for common amenities and the IT development or the other parks.
So any policy that practicality also should be taken care of.
Absolutely. What a petrol bunk is important,
Yes.
restaurant is important. I deliberately planned these things that thinking myself what an employee needs there.
Many times we look at the larger picture and neglect what exactly is required.
Each small
at the
thing
ground
is very, very important.
Yeah.
That is where you need to plan a cluster. One small element, one mistake missing, the cluster won't develop.
Yeah.
We were lucky to look at these clusters needs carefully and build these ecosystems, and each one it will add to each other.
Right.
Ecosystem will grow by its own strength. Once the right kind of seed is sown, it will grow on its own.
Yes.
That's what. So I was lucky to be involved in facilitated nearly 20 world-class clusters, which created as many as 40 lakh jobs
40 lakh jobs.
in a direct and indirect put together. Each direct
That's
job,
quite impressive.
each direct job accounts for nearly 5 indirect jobs.
So almost 40 lakh families.
40 lakh families,
have
2
benefited.
crore families
Yep.
were benefited. Much before mission, the Make in India was a campaign.
Yes.
We showed that Make in India works here.
True.
So that was this great satisfaction I look back
Yes.
upon.
So like you also participated in a lot of mock interviews for civil services aspirants. So what is the expectation of the UPSC interview board from an aspirant? And how should an aspirant approach the interview or the personality test?
My advice to most of the aspirants who go for the interview is to be yourself. Be yourself. Don't put on a show. You will be seen through if you try to be somebody else. So be natural. Be yourself. And you are not expected to know everything about everything. That your knowledge base is already tested in the mains. What they are looking at is how well-rounded you are as a person. How are you responding to situations? If there are, they will deliberately try to put you in a different position, difficult position, and see how you are responding. An SP who is surrounded by a mob, how he or she responds to that. They'll try to see you, they'll try to ambush you with difficult questions, but how, without losing your cool, you are able to give an answer. Set your thoughts together. That's important. And your overall way of approaching questions and answers, structuring your answers well, clarity of thought, basic knowledge base, that's what matters perhaps, end of the day. And be natural, be yourself, be well aware of things happening around you. That's what is important for the interview perhaps.
Yeah, so what are the basic preparation that a candidate needs to do, whether it is etiquettes and etc., before appearing for the UPSC interview?
Etiquettes are well known, the overall etiquette of how to greet, how to sit, how to dress. There is no set guideline for that. You should appear as a gentleman or the lady who...
So sometimes students have this query: should we wear a sari or a chudidar? Or when it comes
whichever
to women
looks,
aspirants.
whichever you are
And
comfortable.
men, whether should we wear a suit? Yeah, a plain shirt.
For example, I never put on a suit or a tie or for the interview, not even a tie.
Okay.
So it was summer, so it was, you should be comfortable in what you are wearing. But these days the trend is to wear a jacket and a tie. For ladies, a sari is good. How Indian in your the interview board is now looking at the Indianness of the candidates, how grounded in the local culture you are. So that is important, that you present yourself well. Being presentable, being impressive as a person is a personality test. Eventually, how does your personality, how you are able to carry your personality, how comfortable you are in what you are wearing, and being elegant. That's important.
Yes, sir. Sir, like in Hindi, if you could tell, what are any guidance for civil services aspirants? A youngster aspiring to become a civil servant, क्या क्या करना चाहिए उसको?
जो अभी तैयारी कर रहे हैं सिविल सर्विस के लिए, उनके लिए ये ज़रूरी है कि दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है उसके ऊपर नज़र रखें. जो पढ़ाई जो हुआ था आपका, तो पढ़ाई हो गया, अभी जो ऑप्शनल वगैरह, स्मार्ट प्रिपरेशन ज़रूरी है. आप 18 घंटा पढ़ रहे हो, 20 घंटा पढ़ रहे हो, वो ज़रूरी नहीं है. वो ज़रूरी एक्चुअली ज़रूरत भी नहीं है. आप 5-6 घंटा आराम से स्मार्टली प्रिपेयर करो, वो बस है एग्ज़ाम के लिए. अब ज़्यादा तैयारी करके एग्ज़ाम में आप क्या लिखोगे, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन अंडरस्टैंडिंग, आपका कितना अंडरस्टैंडिंग स्ट्रांग है. जो क्वेश्चन जैसा आ रहे हैं आजकल प्रीलिम में खासकर, वो थोड़ा अंडरस्टैंडिंग के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. स्टेटमेंट जो लिखते हैं उसमें, तो स्मार्ट प्रिपरेशन इज़ व्हाट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट, नॉट हार्ड वर्क बाय इटसेल्फ. ये वही ज़रूरी है रखना, याद रखना.
Sir,
जो आ रहे हैं सर्विस के लिए, उनमें सेवा भाव होना, उनमें लोगों का मदद करने का एटीट्यूड रहना. पैसा के लिए नहीं आना इस सर्विस में. जो हम कुछ दूसरों के लिए कुछ कर पाओगे, परोपकारी जैसा बनना, उसमें अगर जिसका कोई इंटरेस्ट है तो ये आइए. अदरवाइज ये आपके लिए करियर नहीं है. पैसा बनाना है तो ये करियर में मत आइए.
Rightly said, sir. So to conclude, sir, like any message of advice that you like to give the younger generations or the youth of the country?
Youth of the country today, in a way, is at crossroads. The unemployment and the social divide in the country is very large. To ensure that all the sections of society are taken in the growth path, inclusive growth. But as an individual, what you can do in your bit. Somehow in India, there has been a culture of the innovation, and the inquisitiveness has been killed, and the idea of mugging up things and recalculating in the exam, to reproducing it without understanding, is what is undesirable. You need to have a open mind, have an mind which questions, mind which thinks. That is important. So if you have the ability to understand things well, you have the right attitude, then that will stand you in good stead. And smart preparation is what is important, not very long and hard preparation. These days, one is prepared for 5 to 6 years of preparation for the civil services, unlike in the past. That's why it's a long haul. Those of you are lucky to get in first or second chance, they're lucky. But not all are lucky. So you need to have other options in mind, and don't get disappointed if you don't make it. It's not the be all and end all of life. Life has got so many opportunities. Look at it. Our days, there were not many career options. Now there are hundreds of career options. So you should evaluate where you fit in better and can contribute better.
Thank you so much, sir, for such wonderful insights and your life experiences.
Thank
I'm
you so
sure
much.
it will be a source of motivation for many youngsters. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.